you trust your need to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing. Nailsin News. 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 News.
Good evening. Let me do the quick audio check. You know, that's important. Sometimes it just doesn't work despite all best efforts to make sure that it does. Okay, there it is. Oh, thank God. Thank God that's out of the way. So now the actual introduction. Tonight, murder and other crap. That's a good way to put it. It's how it ends. Yeah. Yeah. Begins with a lot of murders and crap. Yeah. 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 Once again, quite a few of these are pre-taped. Oh God. I gotta get up and walk around. There's something wrong with the leg. What if it's a blood clot? Well, hey, Doug could stroke out right here on live, right in front of everybody. Yeah, but then what do I do with the follow-up? It's akin to Daffy Duck's big, dynamite act, and the crowd went wild. All these other tricks failed. But that one, holy crap, everyone was like cheering him on, standing ovation and everything. And then Bugs Bunny said, "Oh, man, the crowd loves it. Daffy, you got to do the encore." And he's like, "I can't. I can only do this once." Because he was dead. His ghost was floating away. See? See? There's a lesson there. Oh, yes. All right, so we'll get to these stories, but don't worry, I'll do one live. And let's see, I got two of them that are late entries. That which one do I want to do? The scientific one or the embarrassing one? I know you're thinking, do the embarrassing one, but I might want to save that one. Oh man, it's a tough call. It's a tough call. Jeez. Because I've already taped my New York Post stories video. Yeah. And it's pretty simple. And it'd be easy for me to do. All I have to do is because I either want a cartoon in, and I did a cartoon for the last one. Sometimes I figure, well, I'm not going to have the time to put all the frames and everything. So this one I could either use AI or just do the Photoshop. Yeah. And I'm there to read it and tell the story. Good enough. So yeah, all right. We'll just do the story. We'll do the story. There we go. Oh, I don't need to do it like that. I can just jump on over there with the yes, good, and that'll work. So I'll do that, read that story, and then I got all these other stories. Oh, they're just god awful. And time permitting, and provided I'm feeling up to it. Plus, I also got to do Wednesday comics, because I'm just gonna have to redo it, because last Sunday they had the audio problems. So I went and reviewed those comics, and you didn't hear it. Then I tried to do it again, and it still didn't. And then I finally figured it out, and I was like, oh well. See, I can laugh about it now. At the time, ooh. So yeah, I'll review those plus a couple of more, and I'll tape that, and that'll be the Wednesday show. And then I'm going to need to rest up and sleepy so I can get up early. Oh, God, that's always a strain. For the Pop Culture Breakdown show. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Probably, Kathleen Kennedy leaving Lucasfilm and all that stuff. Things like that. But mostly the movie we love that we'll talk about is Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. And I watched that over the weekend. Sure, it was on my phone because I was at work, but damn, is that a great movie. It's so damn funny. So Steve Martin and all that. Yeah, you're going to want to check that out if you haven't seen it already. So anyway, one of my all-time favorites, rewatched it, and still great. Still great. Dead Men don't wear plaid. Why is that? Well, watch the movie and find out. All right, spoiler, you never do, but Anyway, A. Thompson says he came for the murder, stayed for the other crap. Good thinking audio, okay? Good to know. Canadian Spider-Man, what happened, Douglas? Is the Force still female? Yeah, probably. I don't know. Canadian Spider-Man at Mr. Nailsin. Hey, that's me. Yeah. All right, let me do this story, and then we'll roll through. It's just one after another. Murder, attempted murder, some amount of theft here and there. And poo. Ew. All right, but first, this Grammy winner. Oh, he's been up to no good. Yeah. Grammy-winning gospel star and Long Island pastor accused of sexually abusing male personal assistant. Yeah. A Grammy-winning gospel singer and pastor allegedly sexually abused his personal assistant, then sent an apology email declaring himself the epitome of a dirty old man. Is it Giuseppe or Giuseppe? Let's just say Giuseppe. Giuseppe Carletto alleged in the civil complaint obtained by Billboard that Donnie McClurkin, now 66, repeatedly assaulted and raped him between 2007 and 2015 after he began attending the singer's Long Island church while struggling with his sexuality. Carletto joined McClurkin's Perfecting Faith Church in Freeport in 2003 at the age of 21, seeking guidance from the pastor who had written in a book 2 years earlier that he had overcome his sexuality through God. McClurkin, who was 44 years old at the time, allegedly helped the young congregant pray the gay away and took him under his wing as his personal assistant. The pair traveled together on business trips where McClurkin began allegedly sexually assaulting Carletto. Carletto claimed that in 2007, the 3-time Grammy Award winner forced him to have sex in a California hotel room. A similar pattern of alleged assault continued during several trips to Atlantic City, New Jersey, Manhattan, and his home in Long Island. Throughout this period, plaintiff attempted to quit on multiple occasions. Defendant, however, denied plaintiff's requests, further coercing him to stay by telling plaintiff that his deliverance and purpose were tied to defendant. Carletto quit his job with McClurkin in 2008, though they remained in each other's professional lives. The Speak to My Heart singer, however, allegedly continued sexually abusing Carletto, raping him in a Florida hotel room in 2012 and in Boston and Niagara Falls in 2013. In 2013, McClurkin allegedly sent an email pictured in the suit attempting to apologize to Carletto for being a dirty old man and groping him. I am the actual epitome of a desperate, dirty old man, groping a young man who is just looking for a friendship and close platonic relationship with someone he looks to for help, guidance, and spirituality. You don't have that desire for me, and I shouldn't have it for you. I forced myself on you, McClurkin allegedly wrote. During that last alleged incident in 2015, the pastor allegedly engaged in further sexual conduct. As a result of the foregoing, plaintiff has sustained injury, emotional pain and suffering, physical pain, emotional distress, celibacy, pain and suffering, and loss of enjoyment of life. Coletto is now seeking unspecified monetary damages from McClurkin. In a statement to Billboard, McClurkin's attorney, Greg Lissy, said Carletto's claims are categorically false and contradicted by the real facts. At no time did Pastor McClurkin engage in any form of sexual abuse, assault, or sexual coercion of Mr. Carletto. The claims set forth in the lawsuit grossly mischaracterize their interactions, which occurred over a decade, and some accusations over 2 decades ago. Lissy did not respond to the Post's requests for comment. McClurkin said sold roughly 13 million albums throughout his career and has won over a dozen awards, including 10 Stellar Awards and 2 BET Awards. Well, I mean, if the email's confirmed, he did say, he apologized that he forced himself on this man. So that's akin to admission. So I don't know. This is categorically false. So absolutely nothing happened. So in that case, this guy's making all this up and is shaking him down because he wrote a book about being gay, but, he prayed the gay away, whatever, and this guy thought he could, extort him or whatever. But the other thing would be, no, they did have an affair and then it broke up and went bad. Now the guy wants some money out of the deal. Could be that. Or it's exactly how he describes it. He really thought there was a way to pray the gay away and ended up having sex with an older man. Well, that's too bad. But, of course, McClurkin, successful singer, apparently. I've never heard of him. But nevertheless, it sounds like he had a lot of success in the gospel field. And so the guy's, looking for some money there. But yeah, maybe this was all emotionally crippling and whatnot and all that stuff. So there you go. And you got that email. That's going to be a tough one to defend against, huh? He's sitting there, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I really shouldn't have forced myself on you, Yeah, you're going to have to, you're going to pay this guy. Yeah. So there you go. I guess he didn't pray the gay away after all. Well, better luck next time. 8 Thomas says, it's not love. 8 Thomas says, it's not love. It's not live. I feel cheated. If I sat here and read it for the next 40 minutes, yeah, I can't see the chat while I'm doing that and that stuff. Would it make any difference? It won't. It won't. Oh, well. All right. Now for the rest of the story. Yeah, there we go. All right. Do enjoy these tales of murder and other crap. Now there's no audio on the video. That's great. That's just fine. What the hell is that all about? Oh, man. Oh, jeez. I got to dig through the files. Is it actually done with no audio at all? I'm about to find out. But how the hell could that have happened? Jeez. All that work. There's no audio on it at all. Holy crap. Well, I guess you get your wish, Thompson. I'm going to have to read this stuff live. All right. Let's see. This one can be the light note story. This one, yeah, that'll do. That's, oh God, that's a bad one. This one, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, gee, this could have been a crazy bitch news thing. Well, no, this one involves the girl's boyfriend. Yeah, there's this guy. He killed his girlfriend. It's really bad. Oh, yeah. Well, no, that's this bitch killed that guy. Oh, yeah. And this guy stole his girlfriend's car. All right. Those we'll just have to do. Yeah. Oh, this idiot. Yeah, I guess I'll put that one up there too. What's he talking about? You're about to find out. Come on, relax. I'm all pissed off because it didn't work out the way I wanted. I did all that work for nothing. And I read it well too. No, I did. I gotta go in there and figure out what the hell. Probably didn't turn the mic on. I mean, it was on, but not the what do you call it? The recording program. All right. First up, here's a story about a new father. Yeah. His baby was born, and then, well, he decided to do, something else. Mother who just gave birth has car stolen from hospital by baby's father. He was angry after being booted from the room due to visitation policy. Oh, boy, what did you do? Oh, well, we know what he did. Stole the car. A Kentucky man watched the birth of his child and then bolted out of the town. Oh, in the whole town, in a car belonging to the baby's mother after swiping it from the hospital where the delivery happened. Christopher Moletti? Moletti, 37 of Tomahawk, allegedly went to Pikeville Medical Center to watch the birth and was told by the mother that he could sit in her car to stay out of the cold since he wasn't allowed to be inside the hospital with her due to visitation policies. Yeah, one wonders, what's that about? Moletti, who has several prior arrests, that's what it's about, allegedly agreed to stay in the car and went out to the vehicle after the birth while the mother remained in the hospital. When it was time for him to return, Moletti was allegedly nowhere to be found, and his ex discovered that her car was gone. Police were called, and officers reviewed security video to see if Moletti could be spotted leaving with the vehicle. While reviewing the footage, cops say they spotted Moletti getting into the passenger seat of the mother's car at first. He was allegedly then seen getting out of the car and hopping into the driver's seat before pulling away and leaving. The mother told police that he tried calling Moletti to get in touch with him. He allegedly answered the phone and claimed it was none of her business where her vehicle was. Then he hung up on her. Yeah. Police say, isn't it her business? It's her car. So, yeah, I'm going with he's wrong on that part. Police say Moletti took the car to Paintsville, which is about 45 minutes away from Pikeville Medical Center, where he was found and arrested. He was charged with auto theft and receiving stolen property. Willette's prior arrests include possession of methamphetamine, possession of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Yeah, it usually goes with the others. You know, it's pretty typical. Anyway, along with traffic charges and failure to appear in court. All judges don't like that. No, they don't. Anyway, he's being held at the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center on a $10,000 bond for each charge he's currently facing. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. $50,000? Anyway, great going, Daddy. Great going. Isn't that nice? You know? Oh, honey, our baby's beautiful. Oh, I'm the happiest man in the world. And then he hauls ass. My guess is like he's mad at her about the visitation deal. It's not just his arrest record. It's something he did to her, you know. So, but she said, okay, he can come see the baby as it's being born and all that. But, yeah. Well, it didn't work out. Didn't work out that way, did it? All right. Well, let's see. What other stories could happen out there? Oh, boy. Could it be worse than this story? Oh, yeah. It can. Olympic hopeful stabbed a paralyzed Uber driver 60 times during joyride after feeling cooped up and requesting a late night pickup. Yeah. Well, new details have emerged about an Olympic hopeful from Colorado who allegedly stabbed an Uber driver to death inside his car, including how she claims he attempted to reach back and assault her, despite being partially paralyzed, which prompted her to plunge a kitchen knife into him 60 times. Kayla, Dawson, 27 of Colorado Springs, claims she was going for a joyride when she scheduled an Uber pickup with 38-year-old victim Jeremy Campbell on October 26th. Dawson, who competed at the 2024 USA Olympic Trials in Oregon in the shot put, alleges that she fell asleep in Campbell's 2016 Hyundai Santa Fe and woke up to him trying to sexually assault her. She claims to have defended herself by stabbing him after a tussle ensued. At a preliminary hearing, prosecutors and experts described how Dawson allegedly stabbed Campbell roughly 60 times inside his Hyundai before dumping his body in a field and taking off with the vehicle. Her claims about Campbell reaching back to assault her were reportedly challenged and dismissed by a police detective who testified that Campbell was partially paralyzed on his right side, which makes Dawson's allegations about fighting back following an attack from him implausible. Yeah, probably. Dawson's defense attorney raised concerns about her mental health and pointed to a past incident where she acted irrationally during a meeting with a real estate agent. During cross-examination of the detective who testified, Dawson's lawyer had him describe how she made the agent uncomfortable due to her erratic behavior, which allegedly included getting down on all fours in a small closet in a home she was touring and mentioning how two people could fit in it. Dawson's attorney argued that she felt like she was in a car with a strange man in the middle of the night. Yes, you were. Prosecutors accused her of planning the attack and noted how she allegedly brought a kitchen knife with her, along with gloves, into Campbell's vehicle. Kayla told police she ordered an Uber last night because she doesn't have a car of her own and felt cooped up and wanted to get out of the house. She told police she fell asleep in the back seat of the car, and awoke to feeling the driver reach back to touch her. The document continues, describing how Dawson told police she defended herself by drawing a knife, and that Campbell also had a knife. During the ensuing struggle, he accelerated through a barbed wire fence and ended up in a field with horses. Well, prosecutors said that Dawson stabbed Campbell dozens of times all over his body, including the back of the head, the back of the right shoulder, the right side of his face, the underside of his chin, and his neck, and his hands. Many of the wounds appeared to be defensive. Once his car came to a stop, Dawson allegedly got out and went around to pull Campbell out of the Hyundai before getting in the driver's seat and driving his car back to her apartment. Authorities were able to track down Campbell's vehicle after his father reported him missing. His out-of-state girlfriend provided the location where his phone was last seen on Snapchat maps as an apartment complex where Dawson lives. The Hyundai was found in the parking lot. Wow, what are the odds? Deputies advised there was fluid spatter on the front passenger window, on the front passenger seat, on the dashboard, the center console, the driver's seat, and steering wheel. There was also a large puddle of fluid on the floor directly behind the driver's seat. Outside the driver's door was a small puddle of fluid, possibly mixed with saliva. Authorities found Campbell's phone at the bottom of a stairwell and were able to see who his riders were on Sunday night. Dawson allegedly showed up as his last pickup and was found to be living at the apartment complex where Campbell's car was found in Colorado Springs. Wow. Probably a coincidence, though. Deputies went to Dawson's apartment and questioned her about what happened, with the Olympic hopeful providing her account of the attempted sexual assault. A search warrant was executed for Dawson's residence, and Campbell's key fob to his Hyundai was found inside a box of dryer sheets, along with his wallet and Colorado's driver's license. How the hell did that get there? There was a butcher block of knives on the kitchen counter, with all but one of the knives accounted for. The largest butcher knife in the set of chrome-handled knives was missing from the block and was not located inside the apartment. In the living room was an approximate 18-inch blade machete-type knife, jeez, hidden behind a cabinet. Dawson told police where the stabbing unfolded, and a bloody butcher knife with a chrome handle matching the knives from Kayla's kitchen butcher block was located in the field near Campbell's body, along with 2 credit cards belonging to Dawson. Dawson did not have any puncture wounds, but was treated for a broken knee bone. Well, all right. The Colorado Springs shot putter was arrested and charged with first-degree murder, aggravated robbery, and motor vehicle theft. KRDO reports that she is a former athlete with the Colorado chapter of the USA track and field team, with online records showing that she placed 22nd overall at the 2024 Olympic trials with a distance of 16.86 meters. I'm assuming that's great. Dawson is being held without bond and is due back in court for all that razzmatazz. I think they got her dead to rights, I suppose she can go with, I'm cray-cray. And they'll probably think, yeah, but are you totally cray-cray? I mean, it's obvious you planned to kill somebody for whatever reason. I mean, seems how you didn't know this guy at all. And you brought a butcher knife with you and gloves. And then after the sexual assault, instead of calling police or anything, you decided, you know what? I'm going to take his car. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably not going to work out. No. So, yes, some amount of premeditation here, just not really clever premeditation. Yeah. Oh. Oh, looky here. A super tip. So, here's the deal. I got to move this over to that one. I have to move the Doug Nelson, that being me, here, and we will play the super tip. $50 from Drive By. Why, thank you very much. Good Lord. This is very nice. Oh, okay. Wow. Why is it splitting up all over the place? I don't know why it's doing it like that. Jeez. That is weird. How am I getting it to do that? I don't know. It's only one thing in OBS. Well, anyway, thank you very much, Drive By, for the $50. That is, wow, boy, it's almost like a late Christmas present. So, for the Nailsin Concern Art Supplies Fund. Oh, well. Oh, yes. You probably noticed some of the videos where I'm drawing and you see, man, you could do better than that. So, thank you very much for the super tip. It's a text super tip. So there we go. All right. Cool deal. So I guess A. Thompson's right. It was better to do this live, but the leg is killing me. So I'm going to have to move this along, probably not as all, because it was a lot of stories, but I don't know that I can get through all of them as much and all of that. So, I apologize, but is what it is, Drive By gives me a laughing emoji and a thumbs up. Again, thank you, Drive By. Good deal. Wait, you're supposed to be able to. No. There it is. Oh, geez. I'm an idiot. A. Thompson says live. Yes, it's live. Leg. Yeah, it's alive as well. It's letting me know. It's hurting me severely. That's what it does. It's concerning. But I had a lot of stuff to tape. I had a lot of stuff to do today, so I'm sure there's that, So, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I better get back to these stories. So there you go. A guy trying to earn a living as an Uber driver. A lady says, well, I was bored and I didn't have anything better to do, so I felt like taking a ride. So this guy comes and gives you a ride, and you kill him. And then, she thought she could get away with, well, he tried to attack me. I had to defend myself. He's like, he's paralyzed on the right side. Huh? Yeah. Again, some evidence of premeditation there. Sure. But not very smart. Not smart at all. Okay, well, here's some guy who screwed up. Yeah. A lot of these are New Year's stories. I mean, really. Oh, wait, I'm in the same. Well, I guess I can still do it. Oh, come on. Why did it there? Maybe. All right, good enough. I'm still in the super tip layer. I guess that'll work. Maybe. I don't know. We'll try it. See what happens, Woman reported missing by her ex-boyfriend found stabbed to death in his apartment after he fled the country. Boy, he's going to be embarrassed about that, It's like, you lose your keys and it's always where you left it and stuff like that. But, a Maryland woman who was reported missing was found dead in her ex-boyfriend's apartment the same day he booked a flight overseas. According to the Howard County Police Department, 27-year-old Nikitha Gadashala was reported missing by her ex-boyfriend, 26-year-old Arjun Sharma. Sharma told police that he last saw Gadashala on December 31st, 2025, at his apartment in Columbia, Maryland. After Sharma made the report, police learned that he left the country and flew to India. When police responded to the apartment building, they found Gadashala dead with multiple stab wounds. Detectives believe she was killed around 7 p.m. on New Year's Eve. Police said a manhunt is now underway to find and arrest Sharma, who will face charges of first and second-degree murder in connection with Gadashala's death. Howard County Police spokesman Seth Hoffman told local CBS affiliate WJZ, it's usually 4 letters, isn't it? Anyway, that the former couple were on good terms after the end of their romantic relationship. Hoffman said, we do believe it wasn't uncommon that they would still meet each other and have communication after their relationship ended, but we don't have a motive right now as to why he would kill her. WTTG, see, they got 4, reported that both Sharma and Gadashala were Indian nationals, and authorities were working with federal law enforcement and international agencies to track Sharma down overseas. Police believe he flew out of Dulles Airport in Virginia the same day he reported Gadashala missing. Hoffman told WJZ there was obviously some premeditation to be able to do this and then to flee the country. Yeah. A warrant has been issued for Sharma's arrest on charges of first and second-degree murder. He is believed to be in India. Well, yeah. I mean, they said they were still on good terms despite, them breaking up. But, well, you see, this is what. Yes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I gotta switch over to the regular. That'll work better. Don't worry. If a super tip comes in, I'll see the little signal and I'll play it. I'll switch back to the layer so I can play it. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the guy murdered his girlfriend and flew away. They're saying they were on good terms. Everything was great. Obviously not. She might have thought they were on good terms, but he didn't. And who knows, something blew up. He probably wanted her back. She said no. And, well, mere speculation on my part, of course. Mere speculation. I don't know. It's probably a good guess. Yeah. I mean, it's usually how that goes. Woman stabbed boyfriend on New Year's Day and then made unprompted, incriminating comments about the violence. Ooh, jeez. A South Carolina woman is behind bars after stabbing her boyfriend and then making several telling comments about the violence. Robin Todd, 53. Jeez, that's a rough 53. Stands accused of 1 count each of attempted murder and possession of a weapon during a violent crime. The underlying incident occurred during the early morning hours on New Year's Day at a residence on Logan Avenue in Hartsville, a small town located roughly 70 miles northeast of Columbia. Just after midnight, officers arrived at the residence in response to a 911 call and found the victim, whom they recognized from previous law enforcement encounters, outside holding his chest, according to a police report. The man allegedly said his girlfriend had stabbed him. Police then knocked on the front door of the residence several times, but Todd allegedly refused to come out. Gone somewhere. I'm not coming out, she allegedly said. Next, Todd turned the lights out. Yeah, that'll work. They'll just leave. Oh, wait, they didn't. Police were eventually granted access to the house, reportedly found the woman laying in bed and arrested her. Then the officers took her to a nearby hospital after she complained about being in pain. It was at the hospital where the woman made the telltale, unprompted statements about the crime. "If I stabbed him, did you find any blood?" Todd allegedly asked. Then, perhaps even more provocatively, the defendant allegedly said, "If I did stab him, he wasn't supposed to be at my house anyway." The officer who penned the police report appeared to take issue with the second half of the second utterance, writing, "In previous dealings with Todd, she had told me that she allowed him to stay there, and he even has a key to the home." So much for that, Todd. The case against Todd is not currently docketed on the Darlington County Court System's public-facing website. All right. Court records, however, show the defendant has previously had upwards of 24 criminal cases or charges filed against her since 2015. The defendant is being detained in the W. Glenn Campbell Detention Center without bond because they know she did it, you know. Yeah, those excuses are not going to hold up. Especially the cops know these people. They've been in and out, and it was always going to end this way. And what are you going to do? One of them's going to die. Well, this time it was the boyfriend. So she's going to prison. There you go. Yep. That's how the cookie crumbles when it comes to murder between those who at one time loved one another. Speaking of looking for love, Florida woman dressed in lingerie lures victim into axe-wielding ambush at boyfriend's apartment. Wow. Man. A Florida man and woman are behind bars over their roles in an axe-wielding ambush at an apartment complex early this week. Nicholas Lavallee, 20, and Ann Axel, 29, stand accused of one count each of robbery with a firearm, grand theft of a motor vehicle, battery in the first degree, and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. The underlying incident occurred at an apartment complex on Emily Loop in Orlando. The defendants allegedly worked with at least 2 other men to rob and beat the victim, who ultimately escaped to a nearby apartment complex amid the harrowing attack when he came across a woman walking her dog who called 911. The victim told deputies he began following Axel on Instagram roughly a year ago and finally began messaging her sometime in the past 2 weeks. The direct messages stopped on the victim's end, at least when a man started messaging him through her account, identifying himself as her boyfriend and telling him to stay away. Then the boyfriend, identified as Lavallee, began messaging the victim through his own account, and the 2 men came to an understanding about the messages. But the messages did not stop. On December 29th, someone using Axel's account allegedly messaged the victim stating she had broken up with her boyfriend and invited him to her apartment. The victim then drove over to the address provided around 11:30 p.m., planning to meet up with Axel. He stated she came down the stairs of the building dressed in lingerie. He followed her up the stairs, and as they were about to get to the 3rd floor, he heard a voice telling him not to move and holding out a gun. The victim looked up and saw a white male who he recognized. The man he recognized was Lavallee. The charging documents recount what allegedly happened next. The victim ran back down the stairs. But there were two males, a white male and a black male, waiting for him at the bottom. One was holding an axe, and the other was holding a knife. The victim recalled the boyfriend yelling out for Eli to stop him, and that the white male suspect reacted to that. So he must be Eli. He stated someone grabbed him and put him in a chokehold as the other suspects began to hit him. He stated someone went into his pockets and took his iPhone 16 wallet and keys. The victim remembered hearing Fawn in the background, calling him a bitch. The victim was eventually able to get free and started running, yelling for help. But help did not come. Not yet, anyway. He stated the two male suspects who were waiting for him chased him. The victim slowed down and realized the two slowed down also. So the victim stopped and asked them what they were going to do. The suspect, holding the axe, hit him in the head with the blunt end, and the victim fell onto the ground. So I guess that was the answer, He stated he thought he was going to die, so he started running again. After that, the victim scaled a fence to find the aforementioned woman, her dog, and ultimately safety. I don't know if the dog had any comments or anything. The suspect took his wallet and cell phone and case to the Jeep he drove down there in. The victim sustained a stab wound to his upper right back and a contusion to the back of his head. Investigators then obtained surveillance footage from the apartment complex leasing office that aligned with the victim's version of events. The footage contradicted a narrative provided by Axel in which she claimed Lovely wanted to beat the victim up for grabbing on her. When I pointed out that her timeline did not make sense, she finally admitted she and Nicholas invited him over with the intention of beating him up. Authorities also say they recovered the lingerie seen in the footage from a closet in Lovely's apartment unit. I'm assuming it's hers, and they live together, so. Anyway, which is located at the same address where the victim was enticed to meet Axel. Later, Lovely admitted he was upset because he believed the victim was making fun of him and disrespecting his wife. Oh, so they're married. The man allegedly went on to say this pissed him off, and he wanted to blow off some steam and teach this guy a lesson. The man also said he recruited two guys he knew from the neighborhood, whom he identified only as Eli and J3. We still don't know who Fawn is. To come as backup in case he lost the fight. Nicholas was adamant it was his plan to fight the victim only, and it was his idea, and not Ann's. Ann stated she was a decoy in this incident. Okay, so she's admitting she's a part of the plot. She stated it was Nicholas who wanted to fight the victim. Yeah, I didn't think you would. And he was upset and wanted to blow off some steam. So, all right, it all fits. Anyway, the charging documents for each defendant are substantially similar. In various sections of the affidavits, the terms boyfriend, husband, and wife are used to describe their relationship. So I don't know, are they actually married or they just think of themselves as married? Anyway, Axel and Lovely are being detained in the Orange County Jail without bond. Because you idiots could have killed this guy, stupid. Jeez. So my guess is he only got mad because, she was turned on by the attention and, and he said, I'm going to put the hammer down on this, or the axe. And there you go. On top of that, he had to have two other guys just in case. And what's in it for them? I guess he said, look, you can take his crap, whatever you steal from him. So I guess that's what they get out of the deal. Yeah. But hey, look, some cute chick on Instagram and you message her a handful of times and she says, why don't you come over? I broke up with my boyfriend. And she meets you in lingerie and all that. Boy, it almost sounds too good to be true. And there's a good reason for that. A very good reason. It is. Gotta hurry. Can't take one more minute in this here, but I'm gonna. There we go. Woman set Walmart baby cribs ablaze with camping fuel as store was full of customers on New Year's Eve, causing $5 million in damages. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she looks the part. Well, an Illinois woman is accused of pouring camping fuel on multiple baby cribs inside a Walmart and lighting them ablaze while the store was packed with patrons. Adeline Monette, 21, has been charged with aggravated arson. A judge denied her pretrial release after she appeared in court. On Wednesday, New Year's Eve, at about 7:20 p.m., the suspect entered the Walmart located at 1275 Lake Avenue in Woodstock. She then proceeded to the camping equipment aisle. Monette allegedly removed a can of camping fuel, put it in a shopping cart, and moved to the baby/infant section of the store. She then returned to the camping aisle, obtained a second can of camping fuel, and returned to where she had left the cart. With all of these actions being captured by surveillance footage. Yeah, it turns out they got those at Walmart. Monette is then seen pouring the fuel on multiple cribs, setting them on fire, and then leaving the store. Apparently, she used matches to light the blaze. Officers were called to the scene and identified the suspect through her vehicle registration. As firefighters arrived, they found the store being evacuated. Well, yeah, they don't want to burn up. Managers believe the fire caused more than $5 million in damages, both loss in merchandise and damages to the store. The building's automatic sprinkler system allegedly put out the fire. Well, there you go. At least that worked. The fire was in the back of the Walmart. The store is currently listed as temporarily closed. Oh, boy, that's going to piss off the locals, you know. Because, I mean, without Walmart, what do you got? Despite there being a full store of customers when this arson was committed, we are grateful for the swift actions of Walmart staff, Woodstock Fire Department, and the Woodstock Police Department that ensured everyone's safety so that no customers or staff were hurt, McHenry County State Officer Randy Fries said. Okay. Well, anyway, during her court appearance, Monette was revealed to have a pending criminal charge of arson out of Colorado, for which she was placed on supervised release pending trial. Shows you how supervised that is. Anyway, a possible motive for the more recent case out of Illinois remains unclear. Well, she's got a thing for fire, so she's quite the firebug. It is especially creepy since she burned baby cribs, so there's probably something to that. But overall, she's a firebug, and, well, she bugged out. Yep. So, nah. It's probably a good thing that she doesn't have any kids. I'm hoping. All right. I think all of this is New Year's. People celebrate the holidays in their own way, but good Lord. Niece slaughters her uncle after he pissed her off with order to get in the kitchen. A Texas woman is accused of plunging a knife into her uncle's chest, killing him the day after Christmas, following a dispute over a meal. Cops say the uncle told her she needed to start cooking and locked her out of their house. Ashley Siebenaller, 32, is charged with murder for the December 26th slaying, according to online jail records. Her arrest affidavit, which was obtained by the Dallas Morning News, describes how Siebenaller, allegedly stabbed her uncle Tony Graham once in the chest at their Fort Worth home and then played it off as an accident. Witnesses who also lived at the home heard Siebenaller and Graham fighting and found Graham lying on the floor with a bloody knife on a nearby couch. Siebenaller was allegedly sitting on the couch next to it. The witnesses were told by Graham to call 911, with officers arriving at the house on the 3400 block of Wade Avenue at 12:18 p.m. They found Siebenaller behaving as though she was nonverbal. An officer tried to communicate with her through writing, and she told them she did not know what happened and denied stabbing Graham. A follow-up interview was conducted with Siebenaller on December 30th, and police say she was able to talk and communicate much more clearly than she did at the scene. Well, yeah, she was talking. She again denied being involved in the stabbing before eventually confessing to killing Graham following an argument over her fixing him a meal. According to police, Siebenaller said that she and Graham lived together in the living room of the residence, which was being leased by another person who rented out spaces throughout the home to several people. Siebenaller claimed that Graham pissed her off after he told her she needed to start cooking. He also allegedly locked Siebenaller out of the house earlier in the day. Siebenaller told detectives that Graham stabbed her in the mouth before she killed him, but she had no injuries or marks on her face to support this. So it's possible she's lying about that. Days later, Fort Worth police received a report on January 2nd from a roommate in the home who alleged that Siebenaller was standing outside their bedroom door while wielding a knife. Well, she was taken into custody with that incident. She's currently held at the Tarrant County Jail with no bond set. Yeah, that's probably wise. So, she was a bit of a ticking time bomb, you know. It was just a matter of who was going to get stabbed first. Turns out it was her Uncle Tony. There you go. Good Lord. Oh, well. What you gonna do? What you gonna do about your uncle? No, not that one. This one. Whoops. Girlfriend takes kitchen knife to boyfriend's neck. Claims he did it to himself, despite her bloody hands. Whoops. Yeah. That's usually kind of give them a clue. Anyway, a Florida woman allegedly slit her boyfriend's throat after an afternoon of cooking pizza devolved into a violent argument. Catherine Kennedy, 35, is accused of attempted first-degree murder. Blah, 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 blah. Kennedy called the Marion Sheriff's County office on Friday to say her boyfriend just left their home after he slit his own throat and was driving himself to a hospital. Well, you wouldn't have had to go to the hospital if you hadn't done that. When deputies arrived at the hospital, they found the victim with a knife wound to his throat. Deputies also went to the home where they found blood droplets on the floor and a large kitchen knife in a sink. They also noted that Kennedy had blood on her right hand. She claimed her boyfriend walked outside to his car with a knife and sliced his throat while sitting in the driver's seat. Kennedy allegedly told cops the fluid on her hand was from when she reached into his car after he stabbed himself. She had no explanation for the fluid on the floor. Back at the hospital, Kennedy's boyfriend gave a much different version of events. Oh, he told cops he had known Kennedy for about a year, and they began living as a couple after she was released from jail a few months prior. The victim said the two woke up about 9 a.m. He had a couple of drinks. They began cooking a pizza around noon. At some point, the two began to argue, and she allegedly grabbed a large knife and walked up to him. He stated she then sliced his throat slowly, and he did not even realize what was happening. So he grabbed a towel and drove himself to the emergency room. In an interview after being given her Miranda rights, Kennedy said her boyfriend became belligerent and started going crazy. She reiterated her story about the victim getting into his car where she saw him making a cutting motion across his neck. Kennedy said she called 911 after he left because she was fearful he would become incapacitated. Cops concluded the stabbing occurred in the home and not the car, since there was fluid all over the living room, dining room, and kitchen. There was also no knife in the boyfriend's car. Well, the suspect was arrested and taken into the Marin County Jail, where she remains without bond. Well, I think this all started with a guy who's very lonely and is a bit slow. So he takes in this woman after she gets out of jail and decides, yeah, I'll have her in the house. We know he's slow because it took him a while to realize she had just slit his throat. So, all right. I guess that's that story. But holy crap. You got to be careful about these jailbirds, you know. I mean, again, loneliness. Trust me, I know. Loneliness hurts. I'm hurting right now. But, so, of course, those were horrible stories. And I always want to end on a lighter note. So, that's what I'm going to do. All right, it's still disgusting as all get out, but, you know. Let's see here. Oh, we're going to get some justice in this case. I think I covered this earlier. I may be wrong. Well, whatever. Executive gets slap on the wrist for golden shower. Yeah, it's one of those. The New York advertising executive arrested for urinating upon several victims from a rooftop bar will perform community service and be prohibited from using alcohol or mind-altering substances as part of a deal struck with prosecutors. A judge has approved a pre-trial intervention agreement between Matthew Day, 30, and the state attorney's office in connection with the accused man's 1:30 a.m. aerial assault at a St. Petersburg, Florida night spot. Day was arrested in July for disorderly conduct at the Landing, which advertises itself as an elevated hangout balcony bar. Police allege that Day entered the rooftop bar, pulled out his penis, and urinated from the balcony onto the sidewalk. Downstream, several passerby was struck with urine. Cops reported that Day showed an indication of alcohol influence when he was collared for the vile golden shower. As part of the pre-trial agreement, Day has accepted responsibility for the misdemeanor crime, will perform 50 hours of community service, undergo alcohol evaluation and counseling, and pay supervision and prosecution fees. Day, who is scheduled for a court status conference, is also barred from bars and clubs during the agreement's 6-month term. According to his LinkedIn profile, Day is a Penn State graduate who co-founded Ribeye Media in 2023 and is the firm's head of client success. The New York ad tech company is a unified ad workflow platform built for local media that helps broadcasters and media sales organizations plan, execute, and report digital advertising. Court records list Day as a resident of Hoboken, New Jersey. His LinkedIn page originally contained his full name, but post-arrest, it has been shortened to just Matthew D. Well, we know what the D stands for. So there you go. I wonder what his community service will be. I mean, oftentimes you think the punishment should fit the crime. So maybe he's, got to scrub toilets for 50 hours. That'd be about right. All right, that's it for Matthew Day. I remembered your name, so taking it off your LinkedIn page didn't work. Dum da dum dum dum. So this one I know I did cover. But now there's an update. Plea deal reached in case of the notorious Beer Cave Pooper. Yes, the Pennsylvania woman who defecated inside the beer cave at a Royal Farms convenience store has been sentenced for one of 2025's most unappetizing crimes. During a court hearing, Crystal Gauss, 47, pled no contest to a misdemeanor charge of disorderly conduct that created a hazardous and physically offensive condition. Gauss was fined $75 in order to pay restitution of about $80 to the Hanover business. Okay. A court of common pleas judge, also barred Gauss from returning to the store, which is about a mile from her home. Oh, well, maybe that's more of the penalty, you know. It's probably her favorite little place to go to. Well, not anymore. Gauss was arrested in April after a Royal Farms worker called cops to report that an unknown woman had come in the previous day, and defecated in the beer cave. So you waited? Or did it take him that long to figure out? I mean, look, I have a part-time job at a convenience store. You're in and out of those coolers all the time. But a whole day went by, and then somebody finally goes in and, whoa! You know, I don't know. A police review of surveillance footage showed Gauss pushing a case of alcoholic beverages back on the shelf, pulling her pants down, and defecating on the shelves, then leaving. She left a lot. The 5 p.m. bathroom break offered Gauss little privacy, since doors into the beer cave and cooled areas are clear glass, providing visual of the inside from the common area of the store. Still, workers did not spot Gauss in the act. In addition to disorderly conduct, Gauss was charged with open lewdness, scattering rubbish, and criminal mischief. Those 3 counts were withdrawn by prosecutors as part of a negotiated plea deal. Court filings do not indicate why Gauss opted to poop in a beer cave. So, I guess, like the ladies' room was fine, she could have used it, but decided, you know what? I don't know what it is, but looking at this beer cave, I just want to go in there and poop on the shelf. Or maybe it's a protest against alcohol, you know, maybe her boyfriend or husband's a drunk, you know, and she's blaming the beer. Maybe something like that. But anyway, like I said, murder and crap. So, poop goes the beer cave. All right, that was, I think, all the stories that I originally taped with no sound. So, hey, cool, huh? What's this last one? I don't know. I don't even. Yeah, all right. I'm not going to be able to do the drawing. Oh, God, the pain. So that's unfortunate. Had the tape thing worked, then yeah, I could have done it. No, not that. No, not that one. Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All right. Final story. And this one's about science and medicine. So, you know, an even lighter note than, you know, golden showers and beer cave poop. So that's something. It's something. People are getting BBLs and breast implants from donated cadavers. It's off the shelf fat Okay. Across the country, a growing number of patients are turning to injectable fillers made from the dearly departed's donated fat in order to lift, plump, and sculpt their bodies, including for hot ticket procedures like Brazilian butt lifts, BBL, and breast enhancements. Many of us in New York City are very excited about this, particularly because our patients are sometimes very thin or maybe have already had liposuction, says Dr. Melissa Doft, a board certified plastic surgeon in Manhattan. For procedures like BBL, fat is usually extracted from the patient via liposuction and then re-injected into the desired area. So for those who don't have enough to suck out, Doft said, it's off the shelf fat. The filler, called Aloe Clay, hit the U.S. market last year, but it still isn't widely available. Well, yeah, you need fatties to hurry up and die so you can have plenty of supply, you know? It's not going to be enough, huh? I would think so, though. I mean, come on. There's a lot of obesity, but then Ozempic is ruining everything. But anyway, I'd say less than probably 5% of board-certified plastic surgeons have it, said Dr. Sachin M. Shardarani, who began offering the procedure at his Manhattan clinic, Lux Surgery, in early 2025 as part of a small clinical trial measuring its outcomes in fixing hip dips. With the ones that do have it across the country, there's tremendous amount of demand, he added, noting he's done more than 50 procedures in the past year. There have been multiple times that we've actually run out of product. Who knew you'd be wanting more fat? Autoclay is made from sterile fat harvested from cadavers and can be administered through minimally invasive in-office injections by a qualified provider without the need for general anesthesia. Before it's injected, the donor fat undergoes a multi-step cleansing, sterilization, and purification process that removes cellular debris, DNA, and other elements that could trigger a negative immune response in the body. Yeah, it's going to be pretty bad if you have all these rejection issues and everything. But anyway, we ensure all our tissue is consented to for aesthetic use. Caro Van Hove, president of Tiger Aesthetics, the company behind Alaclay, said in an interview with The Cut, meaning the people giving their bodies didn't think they were donating them to medical or scientific discovery. Huh? So you mean that they knew, hey, I'm donating my fat so people can have, a fatter ass. Anyway, the donor material is meticulously screened in accordance with regulated and high-quality tissue practices. Huh. Look, there's the shot. It's a fat shot. Got a bony ass? Well, we're going to fix that. The process preserves the tissue's key structural elements, resulting in a bioactive filler designed to add long-lasting volume and structure anywhere fat naturally exists in the body. It actually helps the patient's own collagen to grow in as well, said Dr. Stephen T. Greenberg, a New York plastic surgeon. This is great for somebody who doesn't want to use their own fat or doesn't have enough of their own fat in order to do a Brazilian butt lift or a buttock augmentation. Well, I thought that's what a Brazilian butt lift is. Anyway, I don't know. Like the title is trademarked by Brazil. I don't know. Sharad Harani's practice demand has been especially strong for Alaclay injections in the buttocks, breasts, and hips. We are also getting a lot of patients coming to us that have had, unfortunately, poorly done liposuction with tons of contour irregularities that need fat grafting back in because of grooves, contour irregularities over resection. While the idea of using cadaver donor fat can initially make some patients uneasy, yeah, a dead dude's stuff is inside you. Shurd, I don't know, Harani said those concerns tend to fade after a thorough discussion of the product. I think transparency is key, he said. It's tissue that's been gifted in kind. And it's no different from situations where a patient needs additional cartilage but doesn't want to undergo a rib graft and the scarring that comes with harvesting their own tissue. In those cases, we use cadaver cartilage grafts. I think that pretty much alleviates most people's concerns. Sharid Harani, I think I got it right that time, said the procedures typically start at $10,000 with costs increase depending on the scope of treatment. If you want a full breast augmentation, hip dip, and some buttock treatment, and you have to use hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of cc's of alaclay, well, that's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars. Which is odd because we do have a lot of fat in the country, you know. So you want an ass like that? Well, inject that ass with alaclay. Psh, psh, psh. See? Spankable buns. Anyway, from a regulatory standpoint, alaclay occupies a distinct category. While it is FDA compliant, it is classified as a human cell and tissue product, allowing it to be sold without full agency approval, unlike traditional injectables such as Botox. Early evidence suggests the injections are safe and effective because alaclay is made from processed human fat. Doctors say it's highly biocompatible. The enhancement is so absolutely natural, it looks like my body with the impact of time erased. A 61-year-old woman who used alaclay in a recent BBL told The Cut. Plus, it's not just that the area that looks fuller, but my skin looks touter and is no longer crepey. Women aren't the only ones jumping on board. Men are turning to the next generation filler too, sculpting their pectorals without implants or surgery, among other uses. I thought that was supposed to be, muscle. But now it's going to be fat. Anyway, it creates an insta-chest where you do not need general anesthesia. You do not need to have a long post-op. You can do it and virtually go back to the office, just like you would do with filler in the face, says Dr. Douglas Steinbrack, a plastic surgeon specializing in male aesthetics. Alaclay is also being touted as a way to restore volume lost from popular weight loss drugs. Oh, yes. All of that weight loss and sagging areas from your GLP-1 like Mounjaro, tirzepatide, Zepbound, any of those types of treatments. You're not going to mention Ozempic, must have endorsements with those. Anyway, those types of treatments, guess what? We can use some alaclay to give you that hip dip, buttocks, and breast contour back. Sharid Harani said in a TikTok, this is going to be pretty impressive and groundbreaking. Still, it's not risk-free. Here we go. Possible side effects include temporary swelling, bruising, bleeding, and pain at the injection site, along with rare issues like small lumps, asymmetry, oil cysts, infections, and allergic reactions. A lot of people are coming out of the woodwork wanting to not get left behind with using alaclay, but they aren't necessarily clinicians that know how to perform a surgical fat graft correctly on the body or on the breast, Sharid Harani said. This is surgery at the end of the day, he continued. The most important thing to me is making sure that the provider has experience with surgical fat grafting. Yeah, you're going to have someone mess with your ass. They need to be a professional, in order to get that perfect ass. Hey, maybe I need some dead fat injected in my leg. Maybe that's it, Maybe that's it. So there's the dead guy. He gave his fat, or her, I don't know, for the betterment of but kind. You know? So there's almost something heroic about it all. You know? You know, people, they give their lives for a lot of stuff. I mean, not that these people gave their lives when they were dying anyway, but they decided to leave behind their fat for, again, the betterment of the behind. A. Thompson says it's frying. Yeah, I don't know. Oh my goodness. Good Lord, the leg pain. All right. See, I got through it. I did it, live and all that. But no time for the drawing. There's no way I can sit through that. So that's what you lose when I can't roll the video. God. So there we go. I guess that's all there. Yeah, I guess I can use that as the thing. But anyway, geez, I might not be able to even tape the Wednesday comics story. Geez, that's, now I gotta pry myself out of the chair. Oh boy, that's going to be miserable. So anyway, thanks for watching. Again, thanks for the super tip. Man, that was cool. $50. Holy crap, is that great. There. Whoa, it's showing up. Oh, I guess, yeah, I can show it. That's right. I keep forgetting that. When it's text, I don't need to go into the super tip layer. If it was a voice one, I would. That's how that works. One day I'll figure this out. And then I'll drop dead, Anyway, there we go. Thanks for watching. We'll do it again soon. And, of course, there will be Pop Culture Breakdown on the Doomcock channel later today. And the movie that we discuss at the end, Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid. Steve Martin film. It's great. It's cool. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing? Go watch it. All right. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll talk to you later.
Killing it. Nailsin News. Where all the money go? Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street? While killers be killing and killing and killing and killing. Nailsin News. Ain't nobody gonna know. Do you trust your meat to take a walk down the street while killers be killing and killing and killing and killing? Nailsin News.
It's said that King Arthur was Britain's greatest ruler. Well, he got the throne by pulling a sword out of a rock. This gave him a massive hernia. He turned to Merlin, but eating rat tails and rubbing frog guts all over will not cure a hernia. Anyway, he couldn't fuck all that well on account of his condition. So his wife turned to Lancelot. Yeah, he hired a guy named Lancelot to guard his horny wife. So Lancelot lanced her, a lot. Meanwhile, Arthur got seduced by his sister, and their inbred offspring did him in. It's all sad if not so stupid. Still, though, Britain would be better off with a ruler like Arthur today.